Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Spade Tech. That's right, transitioned away from doing Fortnite because the game was fun. Played for a couple of years, but it just, yeah. If anybody who's played Fortnite knows what I'm talking about, it is rampant with sweats, cheaters, and just money grabbing. Epic is just, they do everything they can to just come up with new money grabs, you know what I mean? And, you know, gotta respect it, respect the game, whatever. But that's not the topic of conversation. I want to talk about how Microsoft, like, I didn't know it was possible to continually fuck up as bad as Microsoft has been fucking up the last couple of months. And I don't know if you guys have heard of this, like, there's been a bunch of layoffs on Microsoft's gaming division. Let's look that up. Hang on a second, guys. And I gotta get my chats open. Hang tight if you guys are chatting. I can't see it right now. I gotta open my chat. So I was working on that also this weekend. I've got a bunch. So when I stream, I got a bunch of apps that I gotta open up to assist in said stream, and it looks like this one is not working. This is probably going to pop up. Hang on. So I got to have a bunch of apps going while you stream, right? Some people use more than others. This one. Hang on. Oh, this is so irritating. It's like everything friggin'. There's always something. If you're new to streaming, there's always something. Like, and I don't know if it's just me, but like every time that I go live, right, there's always something that just doesn't seem to work. Okay, that one's live. Why isn't this one live? Oh my God. And now YouTube just keeps asking me to verify that it is me. And it makes no sense at all, because what is the point of verification if it asks me every 5 minutes? Literally every minute. It is literally doing it every minute now. See, yes, it's me. And then I have to pick a number and... Good, great, love it. And where is my stream key? Let's go. Okay. Oh, okay. Now it looks like we're live. Kinda. I don't know. The vertical stream just started up, so I apologize, guys. Anyway, we're talking about Microsoft and how bad they continually keep fucking it up. Hang on. It looks like I gotta reset the connection. And next. Oh my God, this is so annoying. Look at this. It keeps asking me to verify. YouTube, you need to get your shit together. What is the point of verifying? Seriously, what's the point of verifying if I have to do it every 2 minutes? And then it's still not working. Amazing. And verify. Oh my God, guys. This is ridiculous. I apologize, guys. I'm literally having to verify every 2 minutes. This is fucking amazing. And I already contacted support. I've contacted them in the past because this did this once before, right? This did it for me once before, and it was very annoying. So, all right, now we are live on 2 channels. I apologize, guys. Listen, I don't know what the deal is with, and there it's asking me to verify again. I'm just going to ignore that because we are live now, so I can just ignore it. So basically, if you're a YouTuber and you make any sort of change on YouTube, like adding a device, logging into a new device, or whatever, now YouTube asks you to verify that it is you. And then you open the app and they send you like a number or whatever, and you do that, and it says, okay, good to go. You are who you say you are. We verified, good. And literally not 60 seconds later, it pops up again and says, verify that it's you. I just did that. What seriously, what is the point of verifying? Like, give me an alternative. And I've contacted support, and they're just like, yeah, if you add a device, like, it takes 7 days. Just don't worry about it. It'll sort itself out. Ooh, no, I am worried about it. This is your customer support. That's your solution. Just don't worry about it. Just keep verifying. Don't worry about it. Okay. Like, what the fuck? Like, I swear to God, like, all these big companies, nobody fucking cares anymore. No, literally, nobody cares anymore. And it's disgusting. It really is. Anywho, let me get my chats up. Sorry, guys. I was in the middle of doing that and got distracted. All right, chats are up. If anybody wants to chat. Well, Kick's not up. Hang on. Kick's not up. There we go. Now Kick is up. Let's go. So anyway, I was saying I've got all these other apps that I got to have going in the background. So the chat thing is one app, and then I got Lumia Stream, which is another app, and then I found another one that does the chat. Hey, it's Mango Parrot. What's up? What's up, Mango Parrot? So I found another one called Caster Labs, which is pretty cool, and it combines all the chats. But then it's another app I gotta have open in the background. So if I'm gaming, like, it's a lot of overhead and it's not great. But Caster does seem to be pretty nice. I do like having the combined chats all together. Tina Carroll. Hello. Hello, Tina Carroll. How we doing out there? Guys, sorry, I was having technical difficulties with my chat and my combined chat, and so as you can see here, or there, or I don't know if you're on vertical or horizontal, but I do stream both, so if you don't like the vertical, you can head over to the horizontal widescreen, as it were. But it's nice to have the chat up while I'm streaming, so I can read the comments, etc. You can see your comments displayed there. And while I also have Lumia running in the background, you can do it with Lumia as well, but the only issue I have with Lumia, and I haven't tested the full version on Lumia, I haven't put it in, but I did want to see, does this refresh? Copied the viewer list, your clipboard. No, no, I just wanted to refresh that. That's weird. All right. So we're connected on YouTube. We're connected here. But yeah, guys, so everything seems to be working. Let me just test this here. Yo. Do. It's probably going to go bing, 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 bing. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, so it sent the chat through all of them. So that's good. Except for TikTok, because we're not live on TikTok today. And that's okay. I like the social stream. That's what I'm currently using. Caster Labs is okay. But again, I just want like a one-stop shop, and Lumia seems to be it, but there's a few things I just don't like about Lumia. Lumia's combined chat. So if any of you were wondering, I mean, you can't really see it. Let me switch my camera. So this is a Lumia stream, and it does a whole slew of things for streamers. And this is like ideal, but the issue I'm having is the chat overlay is not great. It is just not great at all. So this is the chat overlay. And the chat comes in fine, but if I do, where is it? Give me 1 second. So if I do like any sort of emote, right? Look at how tiny it is right here. You can't even see that. And yeah, you can see this here, but this is social stream. And then I was playing around with like having it large, you know, off to the side. But even that has like the crappiest settings I've ever seen. You'd think full screen would just put it solid, large, right in the middle of the screen, but it doesn't. It does this. Oops. It just puts it wherever. Like, why wouldn't it put it full screen right in the middle of the thing? And no matter what I do, I can't center that, right? It's just wherever it wants to be. There it is. There it is. This doesn't do anything, right? It just moves it there. I can do full screen, but it just literally puts it wherever. It just puts it wherever it wants to go inside this box. And I cannot like put it center, which is what you would think full screen means full screen, right? No, not even close. And then all these other ones suck, like rain. What is this? Rain. Is it? Yeah, look at that. Cool. And you can change the image size, but it doesn't really help. So if I go, let's go full screen, and then I change the image size to like 20. And we just go, dunk. Look, now it puts it way over here, and even that's cropped. Like, why? Why? 0, I can put it at 0. Like, it just, I don't understand it. Like, it, like you guys had one job, one freaking job. That's all you had to do. Full screen, just make it right in the center of the box, or at least give me options to put it right in the center of the box. And I don't know any custom CSS, so I'll have to contact them. I sent them a message about these emotes, but not on the, what do you call it? Because, like, look at how small those are. Like, what is the point of that? So if I send like, just a regular message like, hello, you can read that. That's fine. But why are the emotes and GIFs like microscopic? It's literally smaller than what is this, 8-point font? I don't even know how big the font is. Where's the font? There's no font settings. Cool. So again, there's just not enough settings with this. And the reason I was exploring this is because I want to see, I was optimizing the laptop, which we'll get back to that after we talk about how bad Microsoft keeps fucking up. Yeah, I could save it. Why not? All right, so that's the one overlay, but Lumia is great. It does a whole slew of things. So if you're a streamer and you're not using Lumia, like, you're really missing out. So that's the only thing that I feel needs major improvement is the emotes, or the combined chat with the emotes needs a major overhaul. And then, but other than that, it's good. Caster Labs is not bad, but I was testing it out. It works okay, you know, but even the emotes on that one are a little small as well. It had a viewer list here, but that doesn't seem to be working, right? Which is weird. So viewer list is kind of useless. Let me see. All right, so viewer list is useless. What else does it have on here? So I got widgets. Can I do viewer list? Nope, nothing. Okay, cool. Viewer list is copy. I did that, but I already have it up here, and it just shows one person, which I know there's more than one person here. Anywho, so that one's useless. Activity appears to be useless as well. Okay. Activity feed seems to be useless as well. But anywho, guys, let's talk about how bad Microsoft is fucking up right now. So apparently, let's see. Apparently, Microsoft they laid off a bunch of people from their gaming division. Here we go.
Ben Shapiro.
Whoa.
How to get all your chat?
Not that. There we go. Here we go. So let's read this. Just gonna minimize that a little bit. All right, let's take a look here. So Microsoft conducted multiple rounds of layoffs in its gaming division. 1,900 employees in the Activision Blizzard. That was January last year. And then 650 more in September. And the most recent large-scale cut in July of 2025, another 9,000 employees. Significant impacts on the Xbox studios. And I had heard that like they're not going to be producing like Xbox anymore, supposedly. That's what I heard. Like, there's not going to be any more Xboxes being produced. There's no like Xbox next gen, Xbox Zen or whatever. Like, that's the rumor that They did all these layoffs. The Xbox is no more. They're just going to do game development. But even in the game development, they're failing and they're laying off a bunch of people. So they're losing money left and right. And that's just in their gaming division, right? Key layoffs, January 2024, May, September, July, restructuring and efficiency. So that basically they're losing a ton of money in the gaming division. And a lot of these like indie games lately have been crushing these major corporations, these major game studios, with like 2 or 3 people, right? So like 2 or 3 people are making games that gamers actually want to play. And meanwhile, Microsoft's laying off thousands of people. They're not going to do the Xbox anymore. Jeez. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but trash truck outside. Major job cuts. And that was 4 months ago off of Reddit. Let me see. Yeah, and not to mention, so that's just in, I believe this was just in Activision's Blizzard department. And that was after the acquisition. So lots of people. But Xbox Studios, they're laying off a bunch of people. They've canned a bunch of the games that were supposed to come out. So they canned a bunch of those games. The Halo franchise is all but dead. And so they decided, like, since they can't rehash the game or they can't come up with any new ideas, that they're just going to redo the original Halo, which great concept, cool, you know, everything looks great in that regards, but it's nothing new, nothing original. They're just rehashing the same old game and like changing the graphics, you know, updating the graphics, but it's the same exact game. So if you liked it then, you'll probably like it now, but it's the same game, nothing new, nothing changing. Same with, what was the other game that just came out recently? Oh, Borderlands 4. So Borderlands 4 came out. Everybody jumped on it, paid $70, you know, for the game, and then literally beat the game. Within a month, it lost over half of its player count to indie games, to these games that are like made by like 1 or 2 dudes in their apartment somewhere. But good on them, you know, for sticking it to these big companies. But that's just the gaming division. And then you've got all these freaking recent Microsoft updates that are happening and breaking people's systems. Here we go. Recent Microsoft updates have caused issues, including authentication failures on systems with duplicate security identifiers and incomplete synchronization for large security groups in Microsoft and Entra Connect. I don't even know what that is. Others reported problems, including, oh, that's right. And then the task manager is duplicating itself. So if you guys haven't updated to the latest task manager or the latest update, I think it's 25H2, don't, because apparently the task manager keeps duplicating itself. So you can see here, this is the task manager. Basically, if you're on the newest update and you close this and then open it again, This one didn't actually close. So it'll just sit here and eat up all your freaking memory, which is ridiculous. So, and as you can see, you know, I got a bunch of stuff running. Let me see, processes. I got a bunch of stuff running, and Task Manager doesn't eat up a lot of resources when you got one of them open. But when you've got like 17 of them open, that's a problem. So, and most people, you wouldn't even know it because you're like just checking your performance. You're like, oh, okay, everything's good. Everything's good. And then you close it, and then you want to check it again, and you open it again, and it just, you're not able to properly close it, and it can cause the it's going to cause freezing systems, your system to freeze. Oh, and then USB, that's right, USB keyboard and mouse issues in Windows recovery. So like if you get an error or something happens, you get a glitch, something corrupts, whatever, you want to go back using Microsoft's built-in recovery environment. The latest update ruins the mouse and keyboard functionality. So you have to have an external mouse and keyboard. But even then, sometimes it's been reported that's not even working. Yeah, so I mean, they just keep, Windows is just, I don't know what they're doing over there. I also heard that like up to 30% of their code is being written by AI, which is not great. You know, it's great that AI can write code and assist in those tasks, but code especially needs to be very, very heavily reviewed, because I'm not a coder, and apparently no one over at Microsoft's a coder either, because they're just having AI do it for them. But it's becoming a huge problem. Authentication failures on duplicate SIDs. So Windows Update August 29th, 2025 causes Kerberos and NTLM authentication failures on devices with duplicate security identifiers. I'll be honest, I don't know what that means, but sounds good. The updates checks the security identifiers, which blocks authentication handshakes between devices with duplicate SIDs. Remote desktop connections may fail, access denied errors. Yeah, so yeah, right here. So the problem, and I don't know why it's just some people are experiencing on 25H2 Task Manager duplicating itself every time it's opened. And it will cause your system to freeze because you have to go into Task Manager and end all the subsequent tasks or subsequent task managers. And I don't know if they've come out with a fix for this yet, but they really need to. So guys, I would suggest not updating to 25H2, okay? And I know my girlfriend, she's on her laptop, that's her work laptop, and the update thing keeps popping up like, hey, you need to update. Don't do it. And I warned her, I said, don't update. There's like some huge problems with this latest update. It's breaking people's systems. It's locking them out. And then you go to hit Windows Recovery because you're like, oh crap, I'm locked out. And then you go to Windows Recovery, can't use your keyboard or your mouse. And if you ask me, if the AI is writing the code, that sounds like something's going on. Maybe they did it on purpose. And AI, this is part of the AI takeover, right? So AI is putting stuff out there, locking people out of their systems. Then you go to system restore to try and get back to where you were. And, oh, weird, my keyboard and mouse aren't working. Huh. I don't know. Food for thought, right? Let's take a look at this video here.
Microsoft, they are...
I'm going to rewind this. So this is by...
Oil change?
Oh, boy. This is by... Oh, Brit Tech. Okay, yeah, I think I did watch this the other day. So if you guys aren't subscribed to Brit Tech, go give them a shout. It is like Skynet.
Got another video here for your Windows 11 update. Broke this essential feature. A critical feature in Windows 11.
Turn this down. Sorry, let me turn this down. And then I'm gonna exit Caster Labs. And then change it to headset. I don't need that. Don't think I need that. Nate the Welder, how you doing, bud? So let me just pop in a headphone so I can actually hear it. You guys should be able to hear it, but if I get, it was on my external speakers, so I don't want anything like weird feedback. Can you guys hear that?
What if I told you a recent Windows 11 update secretly broke something critical you use all the time? You might not even realize it yet, but the critical disruption could be slowing you down or even causing frustrating issues.
Oh, yes,
Stick
it is.
around to find out if your system is affected and what you need to do to immediately fix this problem. So if your Windows 11 is acting up after a recent update and it's wreaking havoc and breaking a feature many of us rely...
Look at this. He's got like 5, 6 task managers open. Five task manager. Look at this.
You can see...
It's got... I mean, it's not eating up a ton of RAM, but on a lower end system, this is using, well, and I think he's on a virtual machine, but it's eating up 37% of his RAM right now.
Here, every time you close Task Manager, it duplicates itself, and this is going to be a major problem.
Yeah.
So every single time I shut down Task Manager here, you'll see it will create a new instance. Boom. This is obviously going to be using a lot of system memory and a lot of CPU usage, which will impact a lot of PC performance. And this could be completely crippling your operating system. So if you're playing games in the background, all of these Task Manager instances could be running, using up precious memory and CPU resources. And this will impact your performance and gameplay. So what is going on at Microsoft? They are releasing updates to the general public, which is breaking their system. As you can see here, every single time you open up Task Manager.
And this is like, you know, this is like the most basic thing. Task Manager's been around since forever, right? So like, why do you need to update it? Like, why does anything have to change with the Task Manager? Like, it doesn't make any sense. All it is like shows you what's going on in your system, and then you can close it or you can open it. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
I'm just going to quickly type Task Manager in here, and you can see it's duplicating itself every single time. We're on 9 now, and this will just continue to go. Now, as you see at the beginning of the video, it also freezes on the screen and you can't close down Task Manager. This means that you won't be able to close it down, and if you don't have the End Task button toggled on, you won't be able to end the task like I showed you at the beginning of the video. This is another side effect of this Windows update that is causing major havoc to Windows 11 25
So you have to go in here.
So the scenario is, if you don't shut your PC down and you leave your PC on and you've updated to this version of Windows, what's going to happen every single time you go into Task Manager and close it down, it will create another background process. And this has taken up CPU and memory. Now, the big problem is you would probably not even know it's there unless you type Task Manager in here and see all of the Task Manager background processes being created every single time you open and close the Task Manager. Now, of course, this is an absolutely ridiculous situation because obviously you're using precious memory and CPU. So
That's
if you want to
insane.
end them, you have to physically type Task Manager in Task Manager itself.
You gotta right-click.
And then right-click
So
on them and
if
end
any of
task
you have
to
updated,
end the task of.
make sure you go in and check, just like he's doing here, make sure you check Task Manager. So type it in at the top and make sure you've only got one running while Task Manager's open. And this is how you have to end them if you can. I don't know if Windows Home, it should allow you to end task, but if you're on like a guest account or like a limited account, if you're not an administrator on that computer, you're not going to be able to do this, I would imagine.
Task Manager. There's a bit of a mouthful.
Yeah.
But that's the only way you can end these right now, or restart the PC, which will reset them. So you can see this is a real big problem. So how has this happened? Well, Microsoft offered a Windows 11 update to fix some other issues with Windows 11 25H2.
But if they were fixing other issues, why did they touch the Task Manager?
That was KB5067036. Now, we've had multiple of major problems with 25H2. One of them was this one right here, USB mouse and keyboard not working in the Windows recovery environment, which obviously was causing major problems, and it won't let you fix Windows.
You think?
This was another one right here, which was another major problem for Windows, and they released this as well. And you also had the Windows 11 media creation tool might not work as expected on end of life of Windows 10.
Guys, and so like all of this, like that's why I'm more adamant about testing out some of these new Linux systems and testing, learning everything I can about Linux and how to run it. And I think for most people, honestly, Linux is the better alternative, especially when Microsoft just keeps fucking up, because a majority of people that have computers, and honestly, that was another interesting video I saw the other day. For the most part, like only people who work a desk job are on computers anymore. Everyone else has a phone or tablet, and they can just do everything that they need to do from a phone or a tablet, right? Email, some word processing, surfing the web, getting on social media. Like that's really like 80 to 90% of people out there, that's all they do. You know, they don't have a computer. Most people don't even have a computer anymore, right? And so, you know, Microsoft's like, oh, hey, Windows 10 ain't we're just not going to support it anymore. And most people, you got to buy a new computer. And most people are just like, I got a phone, I got a tablet. Let's just get rid of my computer. I don't need it. And that's the reality of it. So they think they're doing like a smart business move by getting people to update to Windows 11, but really they're shooting themselves in the foot, because a lot of people are sick of this shit. They're just absolutely sick of their bullshit. They're like, Microsoft, you know what? Like, maybe I don't need a laptop. Maybe I don't need a computer anymore. Like, you know, I can get away with just my phone. I'll be fine, you know? But unless, you know, you're doing some major, like, you know, design work, or doing some, maybe some 3D printing, because that's very popular nowadays. Doing some 3D printing stuff, or some engineering stuff, architectural, things like that, you know, where honestly, most people go to their job and the computer is there, right? So you don't have to worry about it at home, but you do have to worry about it at your place of business. So, it's definitely something to watch out for, guys. Like Microsoft is shooting themselves in the foot. They've got to be hemorrhaging money left and right. And people are sick of this shit. They're like, why do I need a computer? You know, why do I even need Windows? If all I do is surf the web and maybe do a little bit of document editing, you know, maybe a Microsoft Word or a Excel spreadsheet or something, but you can get that all on Linux and open source alternatives for Excel and Word, like LibreOffice. It's a full suite that's absolutely free. And it works for Windows, but a lot of Linux distributions, it's built right in. right? And it's 100% free. And so if all you need a computer for is web browsing and a little bit of word processing, Linux has you covered. So why am I going to spend 150 bucks for Windows 11? Got to get a license code, got to get this, got to get that. If all I want is a web browser, you know? I mean, Chrome OS, look, when they came out with the Chromebooks, they were on the right idea. I just feel like they didn't implement it well enough. So they really should have fleshed that out a little bit better. But the Chromebooks, you know, they're good for school too, because they can put everything on web applications and you're good to go. But yeah, let's just keep going on with this.
Why is no one testing these updates before they are released to find out whether there's any issues with it? This is the culprit here, KB5067036. Now, this was a preview update, and I installed it to fix issues, which I made a video of the other day, where my taskbar was disappearing and I was getting random freezing of my operating system, and it was really frustrating. This has now fixed that issue, but it's now creating other issues with Windows 11. Now, if you are on Windows 11 25H2 and you've just updated Windows 11 to KB5067036, check your task manager if this is happening to you. I would advise you to remove that update, or you're going to have to stick with it until Microsoft then release another update to fix this problem. And this could be an ongoing thing. Now, hopefully Windows 11 25H2 doesn't turn out to be just like Windows 11 24H2, where it was one problem after another. They seem to be releasing Windows updates constantly to fix one problem, and it was creating three other problems in the process. And this is what we've got going on here. So I'm just opening up Task Manager and closing it, as you can see right here on the screen. And if you're doing this on your PC, what we'll do is we'll get to a certain amount, and this will honestly keep going and going until you end up with a massive list of Task Manager.
Now, most people aren't doing that. Like, they're not sitting here, you know, opening Task Manager 17 times like this guy's doing. But, you know, I've done that where I open Task Manager, I'm checking something on the performance, or if an app's open or what's running in the background. I do something in there and then I close it. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I wanted to check my RAM usage, or I wanted to check if the Ethernet was doing something, or, you know, you forget. So then you open it back up and check it and then close it again. And then as you're going, like, you know, you'll open Task Manager a few times throughout the day, but a lot of times, like if you're checking something and you forget, you close it, you open it again. So that's two right there. So this guy's just going
running
ham
in the background. Now, of course, if you shut your PC down or reboot your PC on a regular basis, these will all close. But you can see here, we now have 27 of Task Manager background processes running. And if you look, the memory is being used up, and you can see spiking on the screen. It will jump right up, and it just keeps jumping up in the memory. Right there, you can see we're going up to 32%, and we're not doing anything on the PC. We're idle. And this is what's going to happen when you open and close Task Manager.
Like, now, like, how does this happen? Right? Like, you close it. I feel like they should be able to fix this pretty quickly. I feel like this should have been a really easy, fast, quick fix, because you're just closing it. Make sure that it closes. Like, why haven't they updated this yet? Of course, we don't always
go in and out of Task Manager as much as this. But if you don't shut your PC down and you enter Task Manager quite a bit, then obviously this can be a major problem.
Absolutely.
To you. So in my case, what do? Do I uninstall KB5067036 and remove this problem?
I would. But what I suggest is, me personally, I run this right now. I'm on the stock OS that came with my computer, which is Windows 11 Home. But I've recently switched to Windows 11 LTSC Ghost Spectre Edition, which I don't recommend for everybody, right? I do recommend that everybody switches to the LTSC. It's a long-term service contract. It's enterprise. It doesn't have as much bloatware. but I'm sure they're still gonna like advertise to you and do all this other garbage that they've been doing. But it's a much more streamlined version of Windows, right? So Ghost Spectre, I highly recommend. There's other distros out there, some questionable, some not tinkered with as much. Tiny 11 has been another one that's been going around that's really gained in popularity. But if you leave Windows Update activated, that's why I suggest most of these distros disable Windows Update. And if you want Windows Update, you can download the update separately, because that way you're going to avoid some of these hiccups. What? Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you. What the fuck?
Yo, mama's a glitch. Glitch, please.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Anyway, what was I saying? Anyway, so Ghost Spectre, if most of these distros, these Windows distros, disable Windows Update, and then you can go directly to Microsoft's website and download the updates individually. And I highly suggest doing that, because that's the issue. Most people have their updates turned on automatically, so it will automatically update you to 25H2. And now Microsoft's got a huge problem on their hands, because probably hundreds of thousands of computers have updated to this automatically, and it's just screwing up people's systems. So buyer beware, right? Buyer beware. So if you don't need the native version, I would suggest Ghost Spectre. I love it. I just recently bought the HP Spectre. It's a HP laptop. I'm absolutely loving it. And I installed Ghost Spectre on my Spectre, so it's a spooky laptop now. But yeah, watch out, guys, for this this update.
But then I would have the
So what else? Let's see. What was the other thing that just came out that they've been messing up? Microsoft woes. Yeah. Let's see. This, let's see. Yes, tell Microsoft to extend your support. This whole Clippy thing's been going off. Yes, that was the other thing. So not only that, so you got all this update stuff, Windows 10 end of life. So a lot of people are jumping ship, going to either Linux or going to LTSC. So Windows 10 LTSC, it's a longer term contract with support up until I think 2032, I believe. So you should be getting updates, but as you can see, these updates, it might not be worth it. And they could release an update for Windows 10 that would break those systems, because ultimately they just want to force people to upgrade and like buy a new computer. Don't know why, but that's what they want. So
Microsoft's busy removing the
also,
one thing.
Yes, this is the one thing that people are really upset about. Now they're making Windows 11, they're making it mandatory that you have a online account. So you have to be connected to the web when you install Windows, and you have to have a Microsoft account when you activate Windows. They've taken out the local account and being the ability to create local accounts.
that made Windows 11 tolerable to use. This might be the end of it for a lot of people. First, in a recent update, Microsoft already removed the easiest way to make sure you didn't have to sign in with a Microsoft account. It used to be that you could type a@a.com and enter a random password to bypass having to use your own. But now that's gone. Creating a local account instead of having to be online is important for a lot of people to make sure they're not logging everything in the cloud. There's still ways to do it, but it's getting more complicated. But now, secondly, they're taking this a step further. Not only did they remove the easy method, they're also removing the guide on their own website that taught users how to go from a Microsoft account to a local account.
Exactly.
You still can switch to a local account, but it's looking like Microsoft might take that away eventually too. It appears they really need your data. It might be to help justify the $10 billion investment into OpenAI. Microsoft's business
Oof. Yeah, so they removed the ability to create a local account. I know, I think it's Chris Titus has found a couple workarounds, or he created a new workaround for the local accounts. Yes, here. So there are a bunch of custom Windows OSs that you can get, right? So let's just watch this. So Atlas, I haven't messed around with Atlas, but basically Atlas is like the vanilla Windows 11, and then you install this program and it will strip out all the stuff that you don't need. And then this is one of the custom OSs, ReviOS. And this is the one I like, Windows Ghost Spectre. And this is the 23H2. I went with the 23H2 LTSC. So, and it's not, a lot of these are geared towards gamers, and while it does give you an increased reaction and more FPS on a lot of these, some of it's minimal. Some OSs are better than others, but again, they remove a lot of stuff that Windows kind of needs, so just be careful with that. What's that? Oh boy! Hang on, guys. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. We're back. Yeah, I noticed the startup time on this one says Ghost Spectre is actually the worst performing, which is odd because I haven't noticed that. And again, results may vary. We don't know what this guy's system actually looks like, but actual mileage may vary. Here they're comparing the sizes of all these. So 16 gigs on Revy, 17, oh no, 11. That's weird. Look at that. Windows folder size. 11 on Ghost Spectre. Only 55 processes on Atlas and 1.4 gigs. So yeah, stock Windows 144, Atlas 55, 60, and then 89 on Ghost. So again, this is why I use Ghost, because it's not super tweaked to where like nothing works, but it's kind of a nice middle ground, right? But this definitely tells me that I should try out Atlas one of these days. Atlas or Revy, I should try them both out. So again, on the benchmarks, and that's what I mean, like on the benchmarks, there's not much of a difference really. So as you can see here, let's see, CPU is blue. So not much of a difference, but I don't know why. Ghost seems to be the worst on this chart. I don't know. So yeah, maybe Ghost isn't the way to go, but that's why I like testing out different operating systems, and I have them partitioned in such a way that it's very easy to add another OS and test it out. We got the GPU. So yeah, according to this, unless is higher better? I don't remember on that particular chart. So I think on these scores, yeah, higher is better, right?
The government
Hey.
reached,
What's that?
the government announced that they're not going to be shut down anymore.
Hey, the government's opening back up, guys. You heard it here first.
Dude.
You heard it here first. So I don't know. He really should have put on here, like, which is which. No. 'Cause I don't remember which one was which here. Should have, like, watermarked them right here. That's interesting. So the stock Windows did better than... Yeah, Ghost seems to be doing the best here.
One left. Let's kill him already.
These are all about the same. Those are all about the same. There we go. So Cyberpunk. So really for gaming, you want to look at the 1% lows. And I don't know if that means more 1% lows is better or less. I would think less 1% lows would be better. So their stock Windows 11 seems to be best on that, which is surprising. So again, I don't know what system this guy tested these on. All right, here's the real test. The Fortnite. So Fortnite's a pretty intensive game. Yeah, again, I don't know what he's testing these on, because here it says on Fortnite that Ghost performed the worst. Overall, I'd say. Because Atlas had the most FPS average, but the highest 1% low. Not great. So you got Ghost with 119, respectable, and then 45 in the 1% lows. But then the stock Windows 11 has 36% 1% lows. It's like it just doesn't. Crangies! Crangies, you got a fan. Hi, Cat. How are you? Hey, I don't think your thing went off. And I thought you were the only one that had an intro on YouTube. Are you on the wide or the vert? I think that makes a difference, honestly. Where are my... Oh, up here. Oh, did you change your name? I think you changed your name. I think that might be why. I'll have to go in and look. I have to. No, it's on. I think you changed your name. Did you change your username?
Well, I did, but then I changed it back.
To what? Cooking with Cat Spade?
Yeah.
No, it's on.
Let me get on kick.
Is it Kick, or you're on which YouTube are you on? The vertical or the? That is where the party's at. I tell you. I wonder if I should even do horizontal on YT anymore. Anywho.
Draw the cat
Oh, there she is.
kill a man.
Boom, boom.
You did some bad things, but I'm the worst of them.
Guys, Cat Spade is here. Let's go. Oh, 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 oh. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Huh? Oh, you need help with your juice, buddy? Did you get it? Look at him.
Oh, what is...
Look at him. He's so cute. But anyway, guys, so yeah, you can check these out. Again, we don't know what system this guy's running, and certain OSs probably run better on some systems than on others. So again, your actual mileage may vary on your system, but you know, these are averages. So so far, Ghost Spectre's been running great on my new laptop, which I do have to finish setting that up, but I can do that another time. I just wanted to jump on here and say hello to you guys. So I'll just scrub through this a little bit. Okay, here we go. 82, 48, 48. Da, 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 da. So again, some games work better than others depending on which system you're on. Yeah, that's weird. But as you can see, stock Windows on GTA did the worst, whereas Ghost Spectre, it did the best. So, you know, some games run better on certain distros of Windows than others. It's kind of a crapshoot, you know. Oh, and then you got Minecraft. I bet this ran out great on all of the systems. And no 1% lows, but so this is 156. It did the best. Ghost did the best on that one, and stock did the worst. So here's the 5-game average. So on average across 5 games, you can see stock Windows did the absolute worst, and then Atlas apparently did the best, followed closely by Revy and Ghost. So again, these are all averages, so it's like it just depends on your system. Here you go. Are they worth it? Benchmarks show that we are CPU bound, but the performance gains is minimal. Usually your system is GPU bound, which lowers the advantage of a light OS. Okay. Custom OSs are risky and unnecessary, useless. Custom Windows OS are risky and unnecessary. Oh, unless, I said useless, unless you have a special need, right? So like if you're CPU bound, let's say you're on a laptop that doesn't have a GPU, a dedicated GPU, or a mini PC that doesn't have a dedicated GPU, a custom OS might give you a little bit more FPS. Be cautious. Custom Windows OS you pick, and back up all your data. I also recommend that. And if you have a partition to dual boot, I would recommend that. So keep your main system on your main partition. And then I did a couple videos on how to, there's a new way to install OSs on a VHDX, so a virtual hard drive, similar to running them on a virtual machine. You can run them natively on a virtual hard disk. So be sure to check that out. I think it's worth it. Mainly just because of what we just talked about, how Windows keeps screwing up their updates. So a lot of these custom OSs will turn that off by default, and then you can pick and choose which updates you need, and you can wait, you know, longer than the 2 weeks. I think you can pause the updates, but if you're on Windows Home, you can't pause the updates. And a lot of these custom OSs, you can install whatever version, you know, what is it, Home, Pro, LTSC. You can install any version that you want. I would go for the Pro or LTSC. And the differences are minimal, just mainly, you know, background stuff that the operating system has on it or not. But anyway, guys, I think I'm going to sign off here. I just wanted to hop on, do a quick stream, get back in the groove of things. I still have to finish up my laptop build. So I was optimizing my OBS on there because my OBS on this system, and I may want to optimize this one as well, but I learned a lot on optimizing OBS. Again, it's a laptop, so I need a lighter weight build. I needed a lighter OS, right? So this is what we're talking about. So it's a lighter OS. This does have a graphics card on it, or a graphics chip, but it's only a 2 gigs chip. It's only got 16 gigs of RAM, which I think I can upgrade to 32, but for now I'm just going to leave it at the 16 gigs of RAM. And it's got a SSD, so it's a good system, but still OBS requires a lot of resources. So if I want to game on it while I'm doing that, which I probably won't, I'll probably just do something similar to what we're doing today. Talking about Windows and talking about updates and ragging on Windows. So anyway, guys, I hope you had a good time here. Mr. McCracken or McBasketball, Crangies, I hope you come back in. Cat filled me in with
Crangies McBasketball here.
Cat filled me in with who Crangies McBasketball was, but I do love Impractical Jokers, so we'll look you up, Crangies.
Crangies.
Appreciate you coming in here and dropping a like or a follow or whatever you dropping your crangy. But hey guys, be good to each other, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.